emasimini ejabula amathole iqikitheka wathi numama yakhala inkomo zabuya inkomo emasimini ejabula amathole iqikitheka wathi numama yakhala inkomo zisanumdaba zisani imichadulo sukuhla makhulu islame mame kalumntwana kalunina kalizinja kalikomo enzenja.
Oh, what a performance. Whew, yeah. It's such a powerful performance and fitting song from Onomfundo, yakhala inkomo. Now, ngesiXhosa, when inkomo ikhala, it means it is believed that ancestors are fulfilled and bayavuma. Yakhala inkomo means icamagu livumile. Utata Madiba has transcended to the ancestral realm. Uyamkelwa ama ancestors akhe. Onomfundo will be joining us again a bit later and to give us more of that. Wow.
I can't wait, Griselda. I absolutely can't wait. And I hope more of that also includes more music.
No, absolutely. That's what we're doing. Celebrating utata, celebrating in song, celebrating in dance, and that's how we do it.
For the whole week, we've been reflecting, remembering, and celebrating Madiba's incredible life. Today was the last day of Tata Madiba lying in state. We know that many South Africans stood in long queues in the sun, hoping to pay your last respects to Tata. At the last check, over 100,000 people today tried to get in and see Utata resting. Tata's legacy lives with us. We advise that you take a moment and connect with the passing of Utata. We here at the SABC will broadcast the funeral of Tata Madiba live on all 3 channels on Sunday, the 15th of December. Mzansi is in mourning. And looking at these pictures and the number of people that went there, an astonishing number, with only 2,000 an hour allowed. Over 100,000 people descended, Griselda. Gates were opened and reclosed closed by 1 o'clock.
20,000 a day, that's a lot of people to manage. And I must say that South Africans have been behaving and with dignity, they're celebrating Utata. Now, all around the country, South Africans from all walks of life have taken to various events and platforms in order to come together in grieving and celebrating Tata Madiba's life. Today, it was also baby Jake Matlala's funeral, and this was held at Rema Bible Church in Randburg in Johannesburg. To the Matlala family, we send our deepest condolences during this difficult time. City Duduzelegani. I was there, actually, Thomas, and it was really such a somber moment. And I think for me, the highlight was the son paying tribute to a dad. And, you know, as he talks about his father, as a woman, you can't help but sit back and think every woman deserves a Jacob Matlala.
Jacob Matlala, more famously known as Baby Jake. At only 1.47 meters in height, he was the shortest world champion ever in the history of boxing. And his record, and I want to get it right, is 68 fights, 53 wins, 2 draws, 2 world championship, WBO belts. Those are the real belts. That's champ. Champ.
Yeah.
Father, grandfather, protector of children's rights and humanitarian, done with the simple objective of freedom and equality for all. One of the most notable legacies created by Madiba and left for us to nurture is love and dedication to children.
Some time before I became president, I came out of a Cape Town hotel after 12 midnight on a very cold winter night. And a group of children of about 10 to 12 came running to me. And they asked, "Why do you love us?" And I say, "How do you know I love you?" They say when you got money from overseas, you divided it amongst us. That was the Nobel Peace Prize. I then said to them that no, everybody loves you, including your parents. The only difference is that I got money without working for it, and therefore I could share it with you. But what worried me was the statement which they did not articulate. What they were saying was that we enjoy no parental love and security. We have no future. We will never enjoy life as other children because we are the outcasts of society. That worried me. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept on rolling over and over again.
Securing a bright future for children was the main inspiration behind Akuhlanga Nelson Mandela Children's Fund Hospital and the foundation. This is a typical of Utata's leadership and legacy and philosophy that he led by example, making the first donation and then looking to others to follow suit and aid the cause. And now joining us just to talk more about Tata's legacy, especially when it comes to children, is Tata Madiba's contribution in changing perceptions as far as investing in the happiness and development of children is Dr. They call him Tiny, but he doesn't look tiny at all. Dr. Tiny Minga, who is a trustee of the Nelson Mandela Children's Foundation. Good evening and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I guess I should have done it. He's a king, by the way, Thomas.
Oh, now I know.
Now you know.
Now I know. Dr. Minga, the introduction we heard, the Children's Hospital, and what a lot of people don't know around the continent is there's only 4 children's hospitals in the entire African continent. You are now a trustee of trying to build the 5th one. How far are we with the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital?
You know, it's such a sad thing that in the whole continent we only have 4, as you said. It is sad. In fact, even the current one that we have in Cape Town, which is called the Red Cross, it's by data standards, it's not a children's hospital because it was not built for children. It's not different from an extension that you have in any other hospital where you find it's a hospital and there's a children's section. And even that children's section does not have the flair of children, you know, where children can feel comfortable.
The Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital, I read, is supposed to be 300 beds when it's complete, state-of-the-art, academic, where people can study the diseases.
With the budget of 1 billion, we have to mention that.
It's so little.
Yeah, it's so little.
It's so little.
How far are we
need
now
to do
in
more.
terms of raising funds?
I think by the time, let's say a week ago, when we did a program about a week ago, we had raised 275, somewhere around there.
That's $1 million rand.
Million rand.
275 million rand.
375 to start digging the soil, to start building. And that we're definitely going to do in the first quarter of next year. We are ready, but let me put it this way. We are ready, but we have got so many pledges that have not been translated into action. So, you know, we need hard money.
Is that a message you want to get out there right now? Because you're saying there's about 600 million that's promised.
Yes.
But as it stands, 225 million is in the bank.
It's there.
So the others who have promised now need to deliver.
They just have, and I think over the past 10 days, I think we've seen lots of development. So we haven't really sat down as a committee to find out exactly how much we have. But we can hear, you know, it goes into you know that something is coming in. But everyone has been so busy now doing whatever we're doing for Utata. But I think the people of South Africa have actually responded very favorably.
Now,
And many
Dr.
companies.
Minga, as a team, as a board, did you ever get to have a conversation with Tata about this, or was it somebody else's dream? And what exact word did he use?
You heard his the opening remark here.
Yeah.
That's his idea. You know, he's a very sensitive person. He loves children. And I think if you go into the website of Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital, the front page, you'll see him sitting with a child who's actually wearing a uniform of a nurse. I think that little girl is less than 3 years. She was seated there looking
She's
like
six
fool.
now.
She's 6 now, you
Yes,
know.
yeah.
She looked at her. I remember at that day, that's the day that we actually launched. We were given the ground by vets. And somebody organized these children. A group of them, of about 60 of them, they came dressed in uniform, hospital uniform, like doctors, like nurses, like ambulance people. They were all looking so crazy. And he walked in. He was seated down. And when he saw these children come in, come on, you should have seen that face, brightening up. The love that he has for children. And I think he didn't even want to talk to any one of us as adults. He just enjoyed himself with the kids.
Dr. Minga, we're coming back to that discussion because I want to know where the hospital will be. You spoke about Cape Town. There's a children's hospital there. We don't know yet where in South Africa this hospital will be, and you're going to tell us that. But before that, let's take a look at the behind the scenes as we build closer and closer to the day that we will dig the ground to put up the Nelson Mandela Hospital. Today is all about celebrating Tata Madiba's passions. Traveling with and capturing Tata Madiba in his element is the best angle from which you can experience his passions. And, well, we have one of the official cameramen for the SABC who traveled with Tata Madiba every single way that he went was Thabo Modise. He is here in the studio with me. And you know what, Thabo?
Yes, sir.
When I heard that you were the official cameraman, like, the first thing that thought to me is, did he travel everywhere with Utata? Like, everywhere.
And how old was he?
Yeah, you're looking too young to even have been possible.
Exactly.
I was one of the official camera people representing SABC traveling with Notata. And at that time, I was around, I think, 35 years. And it was an awesome, you know, you feel so blessed to be appointed, you know, that you must travel with the man of that stature.
Just around South Africa?
Most of the time I was around South Africa, and then, because remember at that time I was young, and then we had two senior official camera people who will travel with him around the world.
Are there moments perhaps that stand out in your memory as you were traveling with Utata where, I mean, it was out of schedule and you look at him and you think, wow?
Yes. I remember there was this time I was working with Lehana Tsotezi. We were doing a story at somewhere around Hammanskraal, and I was young and tinier than the way I am right now. And we were doing an interview. I remember before we used the same chopper with him, and there was, as we were flying over Hammanskraal, Lehana was like, you know what, I want that shot of Tata looking through, peeping through the, the window. I was shaking. Till now, I can't remember if I did my best, with that shot or whatever. But after the whole function and whatever, because we were to do an interview and run back home. And then as we were doing the interview, Tata said to Lehana, have you eaten? And Lehana said, no, sir, but we have to run to SABC because we have to submit the story. It's like, no, you must make sure that this young man eats because this camera is too heavy for him. For me, it was like, wow. And I mean, I was just shaking. You just shake when you're around him because you just don't believe that you really, really have this opportunity to be around him.
One of the things that comes to mind when we talk about famous people is their awareness of a camera.
Yes.
Did Utata play to the camera, or was he always just himself? Especially when it comes to children, because you see, famous people will say, oh, there's a child, let me pose quickly, and then 2 minutes later, the children are pushed away, and he's doing his thing.
Yes.
How was Utata, in your experience,
Utata, I can honestly say, say right now that coming to children, you can tell and you can see that he was the father that any person would love to have. The father that any child will love to have. And there was this song that always when he's around kids, he will love singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Every time he will sing this song and you keep wondering, why is he singing this song? But as you interpret it, you alone, you start to see that for him, children mean so much to him. You can imagine these young little stars making this big galaxy of human race. For him, kids meant everything. And you can tell that for me, it was like, he has so much love that he couldn't have time to give to his own children. So that is why today I really want to pay tribute to his family and children, that they allow us to share with him.
Now, Dr. Minga, if we were to live Tata's legacy, how would we celebrate him and keep his legacy alive in how we treat children in South Africa?
Protect children, protect and love children, and do everything that you can for children. If you read his book, there's a section where he concentrates on, just explain how he used to put on his father's shirts and jackets were tucked in. That is not correct. And he used to tell us that, children are not half adults. They're children on their own. These are full human beings. They need their own space, their own houses, their own hospital, their own beds. You take your child to the hospital one day tomorrow, you stand with your child at the reception desk. Your child will be starting to jump. They want to see what lies behind. And it's so frustrating for these children if they can't see what's happening around them.
Dr. Minga, I did promise to ask you the question of where the hospital will be. Where is the Children's Hospital planned to be built?
We've got the land given by Wits. If you know Wits, the old Johannesburg College of Education, just next to Johannesburg Hospital.
The
grounds
up there.
Yes, that is the place we are going to put up this hospital.
Okay, I know exactly where
the
that
land
is.
was dedicated about 2-3 years ago with him and Mama Gracia. They were both there. That's where he met this group of children who looked like they're all professionals.
Walking distance from the general hospital.
It's just around there.
Yes, okay.
And it is said, you mentioned the 4 hospitals in Africa, the two are in Egypt.
So it's not even spread.
And according to him, this is just a starting point. We need to have at least a minimum of 53 hospitals in Africa if we are serious about it.
I'm sure this has contributed a lot in how you are as a father as well and how you relate to children.
Very much so. Every day when I look at my child, you think of like how many kids out there are being abused, don't have fathers, and then they are neglected and all those kind of things. So for me, to pay tribute to Tata Mandela. Us as South African men, not even South African men, as men, generally, I think we have to really, pull up our socks, and stop this thing of abusing kids and women and all those kind of things. For me, that's the main thing that all South African men can do, to pay tribute to Otata. We should stop reading about men have abused this and
that you have so
all
much
those kind of things.
Thank you very much for joining us, and you can see Nkofu. Thank you for taking time out to share your Madiba special moments with us.